Welcome to Now Found. My name is Courtney Cohen. What is the value of a person? One day, my son and I went for a walk, and while we were walking, he brought up the subject of slavery, just the historical slavery of people in America, and how unthinkable it is that that could have happened. Now, many of our dearest friends happen to have skin color that is a little darker than ours. So it's crazy to him, to all of us, that physical quality could have been grounds for such a prejudice that led to slavery, that one skin color was considered better than another. And that's just mind-boggling. After enlightening my son to the reality that even though it looks different than what it did historically, slavery is still very much in existence in our world, as is racial prejudice. I told him that it really all comes down to one thing: devaluing the personhood of another. This loss of value for another human being. We talked about other situations in history where this is clearly seen. So, for example, the Nazi genocide of 6 million Jews in World War II, and the millions besides that of people of just all different belief systems and qualities and situations that the Nazis also killed off because they didn't fit into their paradigm of the ideal. And in the last 50 years or so, and very hot button issue today, is looking back at the 61 million or so babies that have been lost to abortion. It's all the same thing. But to bring it back down to his level of understanding, we talked about sibling squabbles. We talked about those times where he and his sister may have differing preferences, differing opinions on what they should do, and when one child puts their own desire, their own preference above the other, they are believing the exact same lie. One person matters more than another. One person has more value. One person's opinion or preferences counts more somehow. Now, don't get me wrong, clearly the degree of difference between sibling squabbles and genocide, it's pretty vast. But I wanted him to get the point that regardless of the degree along this scale of devaluation of a person, it's all the same lie being believed. And it's something that's very near and dear to my heart, because within my household, within my immediate family, we represent a beautiful combination of Jewish blood, African American blood, Native American blood, and clearly plenty of European blood as well. And none of those ethnicities has any greater value than the other. They are all equally valuable. They are all equally priceless. So abortion, infanticide, genocide, eugenics for the ill or the elderly, murder, abuse, all of it, it fits under this umbrella of believing a lie that one person matters more than another, that one person's life carries more value than another. And regardless of how heinous these things may seem or how small they may seem in comparison to other issues or other crimes committed, they all begin in the same place: believing this lie. As humans, we've gotten to where we manipulate science and statistics. We manipulate our verbiage to justify our agenda, to justify why my life matters more than yours, why his life matters more than hers, and on it goes. We've gotten to where we think of children, whether they're born or unborn, just in this huge mass as, generally speaking, a burden. We don't see the blessings that are right in front of us. We tend to uplift our possessions and our desire for accomplishments and our quest for a platform and to matter. And we put others down if they're getting in the way of that. As humans, I think we have this tendency to see other people as pawns or as pests if we have this belief that it's all about us. People are either there for our benefit or they're in our way. The personhood of others can easily be devalued when the only person that matters is me. What does God say about it? That is a great place to go for pretty much everything. Anything that we need a deeper answer for, we can go and say, God, what do you say about this? So here we can jump all the way back to Genesis 1:27. And in that beautiful verse, we see that God created humankind with an incredible identity and a vast purpose. God created humankind in His image, filled with intrinsic value, tasked with the responsibility of representing His nature to the entire world, and living as creative spirits who act like Him, creating beautiful things everywhere we go. In a nutshell, that's who we are, and that's why we are. We've got to take a hard look at our hearts. We need to see what's underlying our belief systems. And we have to ask, to us, are people pawns? Are they pests? Or are they the most priceless things in the entire world? My book, Refining Identity, is all about knowing who God is and knowing who we are. His word, the Bible, has so much to say about the intrinsic, innate, deep value that He has placed within every single human being. And as we come to know more about who He says we are, there is something beautiful that comes out, that emerges about knowing more of who He says others are as well. Not only does it uplift our own sense of value, but it uplifts the sense of value of every person around us. Because regardless of another person's size, their sex, their skin color, or their situation, they are innately valuable. Not only to an incredible, loving God, but they are to all of us. You can get Refining Identity at nowfound.org. You can also get it on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. So be sure to go grab your copy. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any of our new weekly videos that we put out. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out here with me today. I really appreciate the time that you do take to dive deeper and to know who God says you are more and how to interact with Him and develop an intimate relationship with Him. Always remember, you are never too lost to be found.